Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. What's going on with Spence and Crawford? These guys agreed to fight. Everything done deal, right? Location and everything. Who gave y'all the announcement? That's my question. Who gave the announcement that Spence and Crawford was a done deal happening on July 29th at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas? Was it Floyd Mayweather? Because you remember, Floyd Mayweather said, don't believe anything. You're hearing it from him, right? Look, multiple years of waiting for Mayweather, for Crawford and Spence, right? Lots and lots of years of waiting. Trying to figure out the perfect time to make that fight. We know when it comes to the politics of boxing, fighters being with different promoters makes it hard. Secret society, money, what have you. But I'm going to tell you this. Crawford, in that two-fight deal he signed with PBC, right? It makes me wonder, when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, right? How involved was Floyd Mayweather? I'm going to put it to you this. How instrumental was Floyd Mayweather in ensuring the deal didn't happen? And how instrumental was Floyd Mayweather in making the deal happen? Because y'all remember, look, there was a media report that went out. I'm going to read it to you. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me see if I can show you this. Okay. Right here, right? Floyd Mayweather goes on and he says, when they talked about the announcement, when the announcement first went out, he said, let me close this a little bit. Let me fix this for you so y'all can read along. Here we go. He says, it's not true. When it's true, y'all will hear it from me first. That's what he said during an interview with Fight Hype. Yeah, this admission by Mayweather, according to the article on Boxing Scene, on Boxing News 24, at least to speculate just how much Mayweather's involved in negotiations. Now, is he behind closed doors to attempting to iron out a deal with Crawford? We know Mayweather was interested in signing Crawford in the past, and you know what? May see it as a perfect opportunity to do business. Now, what I'm going to say is Mayweather has gone on record, and he said this on numerous occasions. If you're talking PBC, if you're talking Al Heyman, you're talking Floyd Mayweather. If you're talking Mayweather Promotions, you're talking PBC, you're talking Al Heyman. Lines seem a little bit blurred there to me. But I am wondering, right? We know Ellaby will come out and say he's not necessarily involved in some of these deals, but he's there on the inside, and he gets word on what isn't happening. He just happens to be kind of part of the A team and gets an inside scoop. But it makes me wonder why Floyd hasn't come out and said anything about the fight. Before, he was very vocal about Earl Spence, giving him that good work after he came out of prison, getting ready for Guerrero. Spence basically beat his ass and helped him sharpen up. Then he's given a lot of positive feedback on Terrence Crawford. Actually went on record, I believe he said he felt Terrence Crawford would beat Earl Spence. But for some reason, Mayweather has just gone really, really quiet. And you know who else has gone really, really quiet? Is, what's his name? Leonard Ellaby. Now, we know Al Heyman doesn't come out and say anything. Ellaby is pretty vocal. But again, Ellaby doesn't necessarily have much to do with this. But for Floyd Mayweather to not at least retweet, quote a tweet, or come out and create his own tweet about this fight makes me wonder when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, since we know everything he touches has to translate into big money. Maybe for him, this fight in particular, it's not translating into big money because they've kind of removed him from the equation. I don't know that. But what I do know is I find it extremely odd that he's not saying anything. Now, don't get me wrong. Floyd Mayweather is not Oscar De La Hoya. Believe you me, if Oscar De La Hoya just touched a paper that had anything to do with negotiations or a contract, a page from a 1,000-page contract, and he just happened to touch it, Oscar De La Hoya is going to come out here and tell the world it was because of him the deal got made. Okay? Just like every chance he gets, he says, he created the Charlos, he created Wilder, he created Spence. It's because of him, Adrian Broner. Everyone, as far as these superstars in boxing, is because Oscar De La Hoya single-handedly developed them. As if you let Oscar tell the story. Floyd Mayweather isn't quite like that, you know. But I am wondering what exactly is going on here. Something to me doesn't seem off. But it really doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, we're getting what we want. But I've tried to do some research. I tried to watch videos. And man, it could be because maybe Floyd is like, he did his part getting the deal done. Now, I'm going to tell you this. We're just having a conversation. So for any of you out there who like, you're just making stuff up as you go. No, I'm not doing it. We're having a conversation. And that's what we do on this channel. And I think it's healthy to have these discussions because don't you find it odd that when all the rumors about the fight being made weren't true, Mayweather was quick to make a video, quick to get him phone up Fight Hype and say, hey, let's do an interview about this, let me talk. Because, you know, he only gives interviews to certain YouTube channels or certain content creators. So if he's so quick to give an interview to say something's not happening, why isn't he so quick to give an interview saying it is happening? Okay, that's all I'm getting at. But that being said, we know Mayweather has done a lot of business out there in Dubai. He's done a lot of business all over the place. Okay? Mayweather has a lot of good connections, and wherever he goes, whether you like it or not, Floyd Mayweather's name translates into dollar signs. And Terrence Crawford, he also has some connections, pretty significant connections. Guys who can, you know, I would call them movers and shakers, right? And they can make some things happen too financially. And when you take that, right, and you take a guy like Earl Spence, who knows what's going on over there at PBC and who's open to having conversations, and you take Mayweather, who may know the right people who could come and put a sanity check across everything, and you get them all talking, get them all working together, things can happen. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Mayweather not single-handedly did anything, but if he wasn't the person where they could run interference through with his connections to make sure things were legit on the up and up, or he was able to, in addition to whatever Crawford brought to the table, because I still think Crawford brought something to the table when it comes to these negotiations and the fact that these guys are getting paid 8 figures each. But when you figure that, right, you got to think that maybe Mayweather had a little bit to do with ensuring whatever was being said, whatever was being assured, that there was a lot of trust but verified that took place outside of Mayweather, Al Heyman, Crawford, and Spence, with people who are lawyers, etc., who can make sure that, hey, this is all legit, at least, and if you, no matter how deep they try to peel it down to the surface, nothing will come back on anyone over here on this side, right? Because it wouldn't be their fault if there was some foul play going on or that money was coming from somewhere it shouldn't. As long as all the T's are crossed, I's are dotted, you can't tell me that that's not more than enough for Al Heyman to say, you know what, fellas, I think we can actually press. In addition to that, I think to this day, a lot of people still don't give Al Heyman credit for being brilliant. And to this day, still involved with a lot of big industry type things outside of boxing. So for those of you who are saying Al Heyman didn't have anything to do with this, and why do people waste their time with Al Heyman? There's a reason why Al Heyman can sit back, basically, like a mythical creature, right? That you only hear about. Really, there's really no sightings of him in the images that you see. Most people don't even know if that's really him. What I'm getting at is there has to be something more to someone like that who can sit back behind the scenes and pull strings and make things happen. Because you're talking about over 20 plus years of being involved in different industries and making real dough. That being said, still curious to find out. We know Floyd Mayweather is all about the road to currency. And the fact that Spence and Terrence Crawford, right, went from being on opposite ends of the spectrum financially to now being on what I would say, finding that pot of gold at the end of that road of currency. And this fight was able to come together. Makes me wonder, what is Floyd's role in all this today? Not last year, today. And I want to know if anyone out there knows, share that with me. But that being said, y'all keep cool. Floyd said don't believe anything unless I announce Spence versus Crawford. He didn't announce it. But we all believe it, right? You know why we believe it? Because Crawford announced it and Spence announced it. And that's all we need to hear. That being said, y'all keep cool. More to come on this. Really want to know what the hell Floyd has to do with it, Ellaby has to do with it, if they have nothing to do with it, or are the things that are going on behind the scenes, but they learned their lesson too last year, just like Crawford and Spence, to not come out in the public and talk about their involvement, what they know, just kind of let it play out the way maybe Al is advising, or Espinoza or someone else, you know, and that could be as well. But that being said, more to come on this. Nonetheless, we're just glad the fight's happening. Y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. In the breeze.